There's times in your life when things are going to happen that you've got to begin to put your dream on hold. And you might have to reinvent yourself. It's called life. And don't tell everybody about it. 80% don't care and 20% glad it's you. You have to suck it up and handle it. That's what it's called being in business. Being an entrepreneur, being a risk taker, walking by faith and not by sight. Stuff happens to you. And so I had to go in a new direction. How many of you, like me, had periods in your life when you were temporarily insane? See, there are some people, one of the goals I have is training 100,000 voices of hope outside of politics and outside of religion, both of which I believe unwittingly polarize and divide people, and teach people how to deliver a message of hope and give people methods and techniques that will help them to change their lives and begin to move their lives to another level. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That story that you have can impact people's lives. Mike Williams talked to me, and it changed my life. It began to expand my vision. That's in your future. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, that's in my future. That's in my future. Everybody point at me right now. Point at me right now. Point at me lovingly right now. Say, Les Brown. Everybody together say, Les Brown. If you can do it, I can do it. And this time when you say, I can do it, say it with conviction. Point at me again. Les Brown. If you can do it, I can do it. Shake someone's hand and you're ready and left and say, I'm ready to play a bigger game. Do that right now. Say, I'm ready to play a bigger game.
If you chase your passion, if you, listen to me, I know what I was born to do. If you told me right now, how can you fill $5 million, E.T., but you can never do another TGIM. You can never go into another school. You can never go to another college. You can never motivate anybody for the rest of your life. No more motivation, no more inspiration. I would tell you, keep your $5 million. Why? Because this is what I was born to do. And what I've discovered, that you got to pass up on good to get to great.
And one day, you're going to be in a nursing home. And the biggest thing that you're going to hope for is that there's someone standing right there beside you. So when you're on your deathbed, how will your legacy ripple? Are you going to make a big splash? Or are you going to be a tiny little pebble in the pond? How many people will show up to that funeral of yours? How many people did you positively impact that your time expiring will make them cry because you're not here anymore to have an effect on them? I want you to place yourself in the eyes of death, because death is going to set you free. How are you going to leave this earth? Will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? Your life is not done yet. So now is the time to go after everything you want. Time will expire one day. So you gotta beat the clock.
People in my life right now, are they contributing to my growth and development? Are they making me a better person? What I'm doing right now, is it nourishing me? Does it empower me? Is it giving me what I need out of my life right now? Is it challenging to me? Is it making me stretch mentally and emotionally and spiritually? Is it getting the best out of me? See, this is the only life you've got. So you don't want to squander it doing something you don't want to do, feeling you can't do any better. You can do better. You should do better. You deserve to do better. You're entitled to that. That is your right to do better.
I was born in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City. I was born in an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother. And when we were 6 weeks of age, we were adopted. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. And I failed again when I was in the 8th grade. I don't have any college education, but because of my mother, and I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. But I'll never forget when I met Mr. Washington. I was in a class waiting on another student, and he came in and he said, "Young man, go to the board and work this problem out for us." I said, "Oh, sir, I can't do that." He said, "Why?" I said, "I'm not one of your students." He said, "Look at me." I said, "Yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow." I said, "Sir, I can't do what you're asking me to do." He said, "Why?" "Sir, because I'm educable mentally retarded, sir." And as the students erupted in laughter, he came from behind his desk, he looked at me and he said, "Don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." And that was a turning point in my life. On one hand, I was humiliated. But on the other hand, I was liberated. Because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, "Look at a man the way that he is. He only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be. Then he becomes what he should be."
You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. I don't even know you, but I'm telling you what I know from my own experience. And greatness, ladies and gentlemen, greatness, it's a choice. It's not your destiny. Most people never discover their greatness. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, go to their graves living a life of mediocrity.
One day, you're gonna die. And that's not me being negative. That's the cold, hard truth. So I want you to face that reality right now. And I want you to take a good look at your life right now as it is. If you died tomorrow, how would you look back on your life? Would you be proud to be buried? Or would you feel like your life was incomplete? So looking at death straight in the face right now will set you free. What are the things you didn't do that you wanted to? Did you want to start a business? Did you want to start a charity? What aspirations did you have as a child that fell by the wayside because you got caught up in that routine? Because you told yourself that you had bills, or that you told yourself that you're not good enough, or because you didn't want to utilize your time effectively. You chose sleeping 10 hours. You chose the safety net. You stayed in your routine and you didn't want to bust out of that comfort zone.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. We didn't grow up with the sense that where we were was where we were going to be. You know, we grew up with the sense that where we were almost didn't matter because we were becoming right. Something greater. I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It takes such a desperate, obsessive focus. You really got to focus with all of your fiber and all of your heart and all of your creativity. I'm motivated by fear.
Fear.
You know?
Fear of what?
Fear of fear. I hate being scared to do something. And I think what developed
in my early days was the attitude that I started attacking things that I was scared of. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, fattest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And you do that every single day.
And soon you have a wall.
And soon you have a wall. You can't be scared to die for the truth. The truth is the only thing that's ever going to be constant.